The next speaker, Rami Mashashibi, is the Executive Director of the Inner City Muslim Action Network and the 2017 MacArthur Genius Grant Fellow. In 2016, he was appointed by President Barack Obama to the President's Advisory Council on Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings. I'm here, dear sisters and brothers, as a executive director of a nonprofit on the south side of Chicago. I'm here as the son of Palestinian refugees who came to Chicago on the south side after 1948. I understand the struggles of all of our communities in various ways. But tonight I am here first and foremost as your brother.
Yes, sir.
I am here as I was last night at the Dusaba Museum with my brothers and sisters from Beth Shalom Synagogue on Kedzie, who are celebrating over 100 years of an extraordinary congregation of African American Jews in this country who have fought the evils of white supremacy, who have fought the evils of anti-Semitism, that know that those two evils alongside other forms of bigotry and hatred are not isolated. The members of Beth Shalom have congregates that are in their 80s and 90s that came to Chicago from the Mississippi Delta that understand life in Jim Crow. They understand the life of what it means to be subjugated and segregated and what it means to be a victim of an ideology that leads not only to stereotypes, that leads not only to derision, but that leads to death. I'm also a proud member of a community that connects to the legacy of people like Rabbi Robert Marks, who in this city over 50 years ago marched with Martin Luther King in Marquette Park on August 5th, 1966. And on that day, Rabbi Marks issued a communique to all of the congregants across the Chicagoland area, emphatically imploring the larger Jewish American community and others that we cannot separate the evils of anti-Semitism from the evils of white supremacy. And Rabbi Marks knew one thing that day, that those who want to whip up fear, those who want to suggest that our communities are filled with folks who are pitting one against another, that evil is greater, that the silence in the face of that evil is in fact, as he said in 1966, akin to the evil of those who stood by in Nazi Germany and watched as their brothers and sisters were rounded up. The words of Rabbi Marks 50 years ago couldn't be more profound and resonant as they are today, as we gather. We know that, brothers and sisters, as we remember the lives of those precious human beings that were taken from us in Pittsburgh, that only a few days before that and a few hours before that, another man tried to get into a Baptist church in Kentucky, found the doors locked, and then went to a Kroger and started to shoot at any black person he could see, and the first victim of his assault was a grandfather with his grandson. If that church door was open, we may be gathering here today not only remembering the 11 victims and the 2 in Kentucky, but we may be remembering dozens more who were gathered for church services on that day. Now more than ever, we must recognize that it was not the caravans of poor asylum seekers coming from Honduras that drove those men to that violence. It was not refugees who were coming from Syria who drove those men to that violence. It was not undocumented immigrants in this country trying to make a living that drove those men to that violence. We must recognize who the real culprits are, sisters and brothers. And like King told us over 50 years ago, we cannot segregate our morality. We cannot stand on the side of those who would preach hatred and vile castigation of others simply because it meets one of our political agenda item points. If there is a rank cancer in the body, we must stand against that. And if there is evil, we must stand against it holistically. Brothers and sisters, I'm asking all of us, as your brother this evening, and as our Father Mike reminded us of the power of coming together and humbling ourselves. In closing, I will say that not long ago I had the honor of being with Father Mike in the church and watching him wash the feet of returning citizens, watching him wash the feet of refugees. And I never thought as a Muslim I would be as moved as I was by this profound ritual, because what I saw most of the congregants did not see. I saw this extraordinary leader, a white man on the south side of Chicago who understands the power of his whiteness, sitting before the feet of black brothers and sisters coming home from prison, from asylum seekers, refugees, and asking for their forgiveness. Asking for their forgiveness on behalf of all of us. There is power in forgiveness. There is power in humility. There is a tradition that says kulukum in our tradition, in the Muslim tradition, in Arabic says kulukum min Adam wa Adam min Turab. All of you are from the family of Adam, and Adam was from dirt. And it is a reminder that we are all from the dirt, and the earth is our mother. We come from it, we will return to it, and God willing, that sense of oneness will bring us together in moments like this, not just to vote on the 6th, but to fight day in and day out afterwards to finally and once and for all expunge the evil of white supremacy and racism from our body politic, so that we can be a healthy nation for our children, grandchildren, and generations to come. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.